Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a bicep, a side delt, and a chest day. I am hyped. We had a huge day today. So this morning we went to the QT Rocket Society. We launched my rocket here, which I'll throw a video of on screen. So we launched that this morning, and then straight after that we went straight to work, did a shift from 1:30 to 6 p.m. and then raced back home, did a bit of work from about 6:37 all the way to 9:30. And then now we're here. It is currently 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday. We're about to hit some push with a bit of biceps, of course. I was gonna train a powerhouse today, but during the maintenance, they weren't open. So raced back over here, 17-minute drive later, and now we're here. No one's here, no one's in the gym, so we're gonna get the work in. I'm excited because every single day is an opportunity to grow, and we are getting leaner. All right, the cut is cutting. So that's a great thing. We're about to start with biceps first and foremost. We're gonna do a bit of preacher curls here. I remember last time we did about 13 or 2.5 kilos or so, around about there. So I'm gonna have a look at the video, see how much weight I did, and then we're gonna try and beat it today, of course. Progressive overloading. I haven't done it in a while, so we'll see how we go. All right, enough yap, here we go. All right, so first set, last video on my push day, we did 14 kilos for about 13 reps. A powerhouse. This time we're going to 15 kilos because there's no 14s here. So we're going to 15 kilos and then we'll see how many reps we get. Hopefully we'll shoot for about 10 plus. So that's the goal. Left arm first, of course, weak arm. We'll see how we go. All right, 11. Okay, first set done. That is 15 kilos for 11 reps. So we did just go over my 10 rep range threshold, so that's not too bad. That is first set of what will be at least 2. So I'm gonna have a look on what I did on my second set now, and we'll try and beat it again. All right, so on my second set, on my last time video, 14 kilos was 10 reps for my second set. This time, we're gonna try and get hopefully 9. Ambitious of me, but hopefully 9. And then we'll drop down to something nice and easy, rep the hell out of it, and then we'll go next set. So let's see what we got. Man. Okay, that was 10 on each arm, which is good. And then we're gonna drop down to about 12.5s and then rep the hell out of it. So we'll go now, and then we'll move on to, we could do ropes, but I feel like I'm trying to do some ropes, some brachialis, just hammers on dumbbells, because, you know, pump chasing and they just feel really good. So I think we'll ditch the ropes today and then go straight to just normal dumbbells. So let's do that and then move on. Okay, so second exercise now. We're gonna do dumbbell hammer curls now. So the reason why I'm gonna do these ones over just a normal supinated grip is because these ones will activate a lot more of your brachialis. So you have your 2 bicep heads, which is your long head here and your short head kind of. So this is more of a peak and this is more of the thickness of your bicep. But over here underneath your bicep head, where you see the peak, is actually called your brachialis, where you kind of pushes that peak up. So it's a very, very big muscle that it's a very small muscle, I have to say, but it makes a big difference. When you're very, very lean and you stage lean, at least when I got that lean for my weight, my stage, is you definitely saw the brachialis coming through my arm when you get that lean. So it's very, very important that you have a developed brachialis, and especially when it comes to picking up your bicep and making it very nice, very peaky and not flat. So That's exactly what we're gonna do these, and just pure pump chasing. Like this, if you squeeze the hell out of these, they're so good. So we're gonna do left arm, right arm, left arm, right arm. We're gonna do roughly about, hopefully about 15 on each arm. So this is gonna be a long ass set, but we're gonna, of course, we'll speed the video up as per usual, and you'll get to see the best part of it. So here we go. Oh. Okay, that was the pathetic 9.5. Definitely felt good though. Good reps. We're probably gonna drop down to 12.5s and get the rep range, but as long as I kept very, very strict, my back was towards the back, planted on the seat, I could really just drive through my thumbs up to the sky. That's exactly how I activate my brachialis. Make sure it tends to my entire forearm. Get a little bit of this top end of your forearm here. I'm not too sure where the muscle is actually called, but I'll throw it up on screen. But there's a top end muscle over here which gets really, really contracted when you do a neutral grip bicep curl. So it's a very great exercise, and I preach it to everyone that I actually do see. So I attribute a lot to it for my growth in my arms. So that's a good exercise. We move on to set number 2. Alright, so that's my arm being red and numb, but great exercise. Alright, bicep pump is now achieved. I'm not too sure if you can see that, but not bad. We're gonna do our chest now, and then we'll finish off with our lateral head delt. So we're gonna do chest now. Tingapa's got a great machine, so we might play around with one of those new ones. But first and foremost, we're gonna start with our fly as per usual, and then we'll move on. Okay, first exercise of chest. We're gonna start with our pre-exhaustion. So we're gonna start with our chest fly. This is a Panada machine. So no other fitness cartels actually have the Panada chest fly. So Tingalpa definitely gets extra points for that. So this one also feels so much better than the Technogym one. So we're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna move straight into a chest press. Now, I'm not too sure whether I wanna do an incline or a flat, because I kind of fell out of love with the whole incline, shabobbles. So yeah, we might just do a flat, to be honest, and then might do like a cheeky incline fly, but we'll call it, we'll see how we go. We'll call it by ear, but for now, we're gonna do our incline, we're gonna do our flat fly now. So I'm gonna do very, very light, get the blood flow going, probably about 20 reps or so. You probably will see my shoulders shrug up a little bit, even though I'm trying actively not to. It's just hard to get a contraction without it. So I'm gonna try and not do that, and then just try and fly with my wrists. Sorry, not my wrists, my elbows, because that's the cue we're gonna go for. Always the elbows, not the wrists. So try and drive straight through our pec and our central line. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. And yeah, first sets first, here we go. Oh. Okay, so that was roughly about 20. Felt good though. So definitely the extra reps is very, very good for the blood flow. So I'm gonna try and see if we can match something similar to on our second set. We might do 3 here, and then we'll move on for another one, because I think 3 sets here is definitely very beneficial when it comes to the blood flow. So do 3 sets here, and then we'll move into a press. So haven't decided when to do incline or flat, but it's okay, we'll have a look. Ah, fuck. All right, so made my decision. Looks like we're gonna do an incline press now. So this is a machine that we actually don't have at any other cartels. So this one here is, I don't know what it is, but it's a really, really good machine. So it's a lot of adjustability to it. We can adjust the handles, adjust the seat height. We can adjust these, how deep we want to start a range of motion we want it to be in. So it's a very good machine, but man, oh man, I've really got this whole incline press fatigue now. So we're gonna try and pump this out. I'm aiming for about maybe 6 to like 8. To be honest, I'm not really trying to look for anything higher than that because I'm gonna get bored of it. So I don't know why I'm just not messing with the incline presses anymore, because they're just too hard to actually contract and feel. It's just too annoying. Like obviously you can, but because when it comes to actually contracting your upper pec, it's such a small muscle anyway. Like you're just trying to end up just shrugging your shoulders into your own chest, and that's what you're feeling. You're not feeling a good contraction anyway. So I'm kind of just going back to the bread and butter, which is what improved my chest at least, which is just flat pressing. So I'm doing this because, you know, I want to be good at least, you know, cover all bases. But if I had to be in my choice, I wouldn't even do this anymore. But we'll do this, and then we'll probably go into a decline fly because, you know, pump chasing or not, this is a pump chasing channel, so fuck it, who cares? We're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do a lateral head raise. I'll probably get my cuff in my bag, and we're gonna do cable one. So the reason why I do cable is because obviously the constant tension, and it's a lot better in the length and range of the motion. I'll explain it when I get there, but for now, we'll aim for about 6 to 8 reps probably on this, maybe load it up with 2-3 plates. I know this is a heavy machine, so probably 2 plates, but enough yap, and we'll go. See how we go. All right, that was really good actually, I can't lie. Okay, so you might be wondering, why am I so close to, okay. So you must be wondering why my hands are so close to myself. So the reason why I do it is because I try and tend to drive through my chest rather than drive outwards. What I mean by that is I try and get these tucked into my side, and then what I like to do is I try and drive with my elbow straight through my chest like this, and then activate my upper pec like this, because that's the function of my upper pec, right? Is to get my arm upwards into my central line. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to get this as close to myself as my body, and then drive in this upward motion and try and push and also come down in the same eccentric motion as close as I can to my body. So I'm trying to be pushing all the way, always as close as I can. Obviously, levers with your tricep is to flare out, so I always try and fight against it. Obviously, when it comes to the end of my end of my sets, obviously form breakdown is inevitable, but I try and keep it over to a minimum as I can. So we'll go for a second set now. First set I did 10 reps. This one I'm going to try and aim for 8, and then we'll move on to decline fly, and then lateral raises, and then call it a day. So here we go. Okay, well clearly my elbows flared out a lot, but you know what, that's just inevitable when it comes to form breakdown towards the end of my set, so you know what, that's okay. But I always try and keep my elbows as close as I can to my body and drive through my pec. So you know what, mission accomplished, because my upper pec is now pumped and it looks like I'm full of shit. So it looks like incline fly is actually a good exercise. My fault, guys. So now we'll do a decline fly, and then we'll go to lateral head delt. Let's go. All right, third and final exercise for chest. We're gonna do a decline fly now. So the Anthony Montello special, a decline fly on double KV pulley system. So we're 15 kilos in the bar now, on the board, sorry. and then we're gonna try and go for maybe about 10 to 15 reps. Honestly, this is just about pump chasing now, and I love it, so it's not too bad. Progressively overloading on this is actually really good, so the loading potential on this is very, very good. Obviously loading with the pecs, obviously you're getting a lot of front delt, but you know what, that's okay. We're gonna try and really just isolate our pecs though, so you're gonna see me drive with my elbow like I always try and preach. So drive through my elbow, chest contract, go up, nice and stretch, do the exact same thing. That's a recipe for an amazing exercise and a recipe for amazing progress. So here we go. Wow. All right, last but not least, we've got a lateral raise. So I'm doing these with a cuff because obviously grabbing a D handle causes instability at the wrist. So I apply the cuff right above the wrist or right above my watch, and that allows me to go way past failure, or at least not have a limiting factor like my wrist come into play towards the end of my set. So that's why I do a cuff on my wrist, so eliminate that instability above my wrist to eliminate the instability. So we're gonna do it with our right arm first and then our left, simply because I think my right side delt is actually smaller than my left. So obviously always start with the weaker body part and then move on to the stronger body part, of course matching the reps though, but same intensity, same the weight, just matching the intensity and the reps. So we're gonna do our right arm first and then we'll switch to our left. We'll do 3 sets here and then call it a day. Okay, so you're super far away because I want to show you something. Now, the way I do my lateral raises is that I always step 1 foot away and I always go across my body to get a good stretch on the length and range of my side delt. So what that looks like, I put a cuff in, and instead of starting to raise from here, I go 1 step out, hold for stability, and then I'll let my arm drift across my body just into my opposite pocket. See that kind of tension on my side delt here? That right there is where my starting position is, and I drive forward into my frontal plane and like that. So keep my shoulder down, stretch it over, hit my opposite pocket, and drive upwards this way. Stretch and raise. Stretch and raise. Stretch and raise. It's because everyone knows that the most anabolic part of the range of motion is that stretch position. So a great emphasis on that stretch position has a better likelihood of you to actually grow your muscle. So don't be cheapening out on that length and range and go only top end. Make sure you get the full range of motion, and make sure when you're at that bottom, get a good stretch, get the full benefit of that length and range, and then drive up. And it's very good that you have a cable to have tension on that length and range, unlike a dumbbell where it's just straight from gravity and there's no tension on that length and range. So it's very good when you do cables, because that length and range is very emphasized, especially when you do it right. And the strength curve for the movement is very good and aligns very well with your side delt. So give this one a go and don't skip it. All right, so that is a wrap on today's session. I just realized that I forgot to do an outro. So let's do a recap. So we did our biceps first. Of course, we did our normal preacher curl dumbbells upstairs, and then we did 2 sets of that, and then we did our 2 sets of our dumbbell alternating curls. Then we did our chest, so we started our pre-exhaustion fly, and then we went to a incline press and then a decline fly on the cables, and then after that, as a finisher, we did our side delt with cuffs, 3 sets, and that was the wrap of the day. Thank you for watching. Obviously, the cut is cutting. We are slowly progressing. We've got about a little bit more time before I think I'm ready for a growth phase. So I'm gonna go back upstairs and do some cardio. And then of course the calories are gonna be dropped a little bit lower. Just trying to keep consistent, and we are seeing good progress. So waist is coming in a little bit more. I need to drop some excess water and then be able to dry. Tomorrow will probably be a new low. So click over here for a subscribe button, and then click down there for a best viewed video or whatever video YouTube wants to give to you. So That's fun with me, and I'll see you later.